let us discuss. The question, with Carlos Beltrán, the cheating Astro, elected to Cooperstown, what message have the baseball scribes sent to the sporting world? So I've got ringleader, Spirit Airlines, and bootlickers. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make a giant trash can, because that should be what goes in to Cooperstown. You know, usually they put the face of the player. It's a mausoleum there in Cooperstown. But they should put a trash can instead of Beltran's face in the Hall of Fame. Now, that would be good. I would support that. I don't think they're going to do that, but I would support that. So my first thought is this is the end of the Hall of Fame. We should have a moment of silence. We should all sit shiva for the Hall of Fame. It's over. This is the day the Hall of Fame died. This is it. It's all over. All those holier-than-thou baseball writers who took that vote completely seriously have decided to defecate all over the Baseball Hall of Fame. All over it. Public defecation by baseball writers. What in God's name are you doing? Seriously. You elected the dirty, rotten scoundrel, Carlos Beltrán, to Cooperstown. The BBWAA has pulled out the megaphone, and they have announced to every man, woman, and child, they have announced that cheating is okay. It is acceptable, provided it's the right kind of cheating and it's done by the right guy, because we liked him. We liked him, so we're going to put him in the Hall of Fame. Beltrán was not some kind of innocent bystander. He wasn't just an eyewitness to what took place in Houston. The single greatest cheating scandal in modern sports, the 2017 scumbags, okay? A trash can burlesque show is what it was. And he was the adult in the room. Beltrán was the seasoned veteran and all that stuff. He was a ringleader from the den of iniquity. That's where Beltrán was, right there. The guy might as well have been banging the drum, literally, while the integrity of the sport was stuffed into a locker. They locked it, and that locker had a hunk of metal, just a piece of metal, according to the commissioner of baseball there, Rob Manfred. Oh, that's it. Welcome to the Hall, the baseball writers said. My fat ass, welcome to the Hall. And meanwhile, you've got players along the lines of Barry Bonds and Rocket Roger Clemens and Alex Rodriguez and Manny Ramirez, who's now off the ballot. Manny Ramirez. All those guys remain locked outside the halls, right? Their noses are pressed up against the glass there, and they're treated like contaminated biohazards because they cheated. Okay? You just let a cheater in, dummy. You just let a cheater in, moron. You let him in. The writers now, because they're so on top of Holy Mountain, right? They put a moat around the Hall of Fame, filled it with crocodiles when any steroid guy they don't like, I should say, gets in. They don't like him. Of course, they rolled out the red carpet here for electronic espionage. Can anyone make it make sense? To me, this isn't morality. This is, again, selective outrage. It's the Hall of Hypocrisy. It's the Hall of Hypocrisy. And steroid guys, now, they were already in the Hall of Fame. Like, there's steroid guys in the Hall of Fame already. Now you've gone next level and said, not only that, but we're going to allow the cheating a-holes to get in. Right? Big Papi, David Ortiz, comes to mind, right? Look up that list from back in the day. He didn't pass the test according to the internet. That's what I read. So now you have a certified, bona fide cheater. Cheater. Carlos Beltrán, who joins the Hall of Fame class. And so spare us the think piece sermons. I can already tell what they're going to say. Oh, well, this is a healing moment. No, it's not. You've just soiled the Hall of Fame. You have. You've just done it. Congratulations. It's over. It's as meaningful as the Pro Bouncy Ball Hall of Fame with Muffet McGraw and Russian coaches you've never heard of. You've done the same to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Congratulations. So there you go. You've exposed the Hall for what it is. The Hall of Fame, a dusty museum, about 4 hours from New York City. And it's run by the gatekeepers there with crooked measuring sticks and selective amnesia. And the badge reads, Hall of Fame! The fine print rule, right below that, the fine print says, rules apply differently. Rules apply differently is what it says there. Now, meanwhile, continuing the train of thought. So the other member of the Hall of Fame is also bizarre. It's a different kind of bizarre. This has become the new normal now in baseball. So former Atlanta Braves star Andruw Jones, with a weird spelling of Andrew. But Andruw Jones, who was on the 9th of 10 possible appearances on the Hall of Fame ballot, meaning the previous 8 years he was eligible for the Hall of Fame, he didn't get in. So on year 9 out of 10, the Hall of Fame ballot came back, and all of a sudden, he had picked up an extra 70-plus votes for the Hall of Fame. And so he got the required threshold. You got to get over 75%. Andruw Jones got 78.4. He needed 75, so he's in. Question for the esteemed panel. What changed? What do you think changed for Andruw Jones to pick up the extra 72 votes needed to get into Cooperstown? So the answer is capital N, nothing. Capital N, nothing changed. The man's in his late 40s. He made a lot of money. He's not hit any more home runs. I checked. No more Gold Gloves added to his baseball reference page. More likely than not, Andruw Jones is sitting around eating Cinnabon and watching YouTube videos on how to putt better when he's out golfing. So he went from 7% when he first popped up on the ballot, Andruw Jones, 7% of the electorate, to 78, over 78%. That is not growth. That should be investigation. Let's get an investigation. I think this thing was rigged. What's going on here? All right, that's the Dollar Menu Hall of Fame. And this is, when you think about the cheater, Carlos Beltrán on the Hall of Fame, and then you put Andruw Jones in, who had 7% of the vote, that is a one-way ticket on Spirit Airlines to Crazy Town. Congratulations, baseball scribes. Did we do mail-in ballots? Can we check the verification on that? Ballot harvesting, was there any of that going on for Andruw Jones to get in the Hall of Fame? Somebody check the trunk of the cars. In the back of that pickup truck, there's got to be boxes of ballots for the Hall of Fame. All right, and it makes the baseball scribes, and they're a-holes anyway, most of these guys. I have some friends that are baseball writers. A lot of them are just schmucks. They're all really little people, and some of them wear bow ties and stuff, and they think they're like God's gift to baseball. And you obviously are not. You voted a cheater in, and a guy that had 7% of the vote all of a sudden gets in the Hall of Fame. This just looks so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Hall of Fame is a pass-fail situation. It's kind of like you're either pregnant or you're not pregnant. It's not a gray area. I don't think there's a gray area there. You're either you're pregnant or you're not pregnant, and there's no almost, right? There's no almost. It's not 50 Shades of Gray, and yet here we sit on this sad day for baseball and a really depressing day. I mean, I was hoping to go to the Hall of Fame someday. I don't think I'll go now. I think I will avoid it. I actually was driving one time. I was driving through I was driving from Buffalo down to New York City, and I was like, well, I could go to the Hall of Fame. This is many years ago. It's so far off the beaten path out in the woods that it would have taken an extra 2 hours, and really 4 hours because I had to go back the other way. And I was like, I'll go some other. But I don't really want to go. I mean, you're going to put a cheater in there. Why do I need to go? I don't need to go. You can go for me. You can go for me. You talk about lowering the bar, right? Lowering the bar, like doing the limbo. How low can you go? And all that stuff. And this is continuing. Andruw Jones gets in, but you had Scotty Rowland in recent years, Billy Wagner, and now Andruw Jones. And people are so clueless on why this is bad. I've already said, well, I know you're going to rip the Hall of Fame, and you don't understand. This is the feedback I get from you idiots. This is the feedback I get from you idiots. Let me explain. All right. The Hall of Fame, to have legitimacy, this is my take on this. The Hall of Fame, to be legitimate, should be exclusive. Right? Now, you have to have standards. If everyone gets in the Hall of Fame, it's just a big venue with nice lighting. It's nothing special. It's just another random museum thing. There's nothing special about it. You lower the standards by putting Billy Wagner, Scott Rowland, and now Andruw Jones in the Hall of Fame. You lower the standards. You don't honor more players. It's not being inclusive, all right, which was the big word a few years ago. It's not about that. If everyone is getting it, right, it doesn't, again, honor more players. What it does is it cheapens the ones who earned it legitimately. And that's what you've done. You've cheapened the Hall of Fame for Babe Ruth and Willie Mays and all the other greats. All the other greats, you've cheapened it with what you've done. Congratulations. I hope you're proud of yourself, you loser baseball writers. Good job by you. All right. Now, the other part of this, a developing story as tensions being ratcheted up involving the sport of baseball. The owners are said to be, quote, raging in the wake of Kyle Tucker's record-breaking contract with the Dodgers in average annual value, as he gets $60 million a year. And behind a paywall on The Athletic, they're reporting it is 100% a certainty. 100% a certainty that the owners will have a salary cap. Now, my former radio partner, I actually did some shows with this guy when I worked at EEI years ago, Evan Drellich, who's he's a scribe at The Athletic, and he covers the business of sports. And he wrote that Major League Baseball is going to go for a cap no matter what it takes, according to his source. So, question, should Major League Baseball owners be raging for a salary cap? So I look at this one cross-eyed. And another one of these things that I can't figure out. I'm not that bright. That's why I'm doing the overnight show. I don't understand why poverty fans are out there acting like billionaire bootlickers. It blows me away. Can you explain to me why you're a billionaire bootlicker? I'd like to know. I'll give out the number in a minute. It's a Cold War, and the regular Joes are the guys working in a factory, driving a truck, right, working their ass off, and they're carrying the water for the aristocrats. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's a total shell game. It's trickeration, and they're laughing at you, and you're playing along. These billionaires have convinced the regular guy, the schmo, the person with the lunch pail, the hard hat, that crowd, that the outfielder getting the big contract is the reason that your tickets are expensive and you're paying $22 for nachos in a plastic bowl. Again, the billionaire bootlicking thing, you've convinced these are blue-collar people doing this. It's the ultimate con is what it is. It's the ultimate con. You've got the fans carrying the water for guys who own private islands. We really need to help these people out. We really need to make sure they keep more of their money. It's very important. And the other thing is, like, all these teams, owning a Major League Baseball team, you own it because you want to go to social events in the Hamptons and Beverly Hills and South Beach and hang out with other a-holes that will ask you, oh, what's it like to own your team and all that stuff. So that's why you buy a team. Right? But it's also a license to print money. It is. And you never, ever sell a team for less money. The Tampa Bay Rays, who suck financially, everyone says they suck financially. They played a minor league ballpark last year because a hurricane ripped the roof off their stadium. They just fetched $1.7 billion. Okay, there's a conga line. Do the conga. A conga line of these robber barons who are waiting to buy these professional sports teams, even baseball. Why? Passive income. That's why. Great passive income. It's a geyser that never runs dry. The Major League Baseball pie, $12 billion. That's a big pie. That's a pizza pie. $12 billion. So if you do the MALLER math on this, as I understand it, it's MALLER math. So if you cap and say, well, we've got to divide the revenue, $12 billion is the pie. So that would mean if you spread the butter on the bread all over and you do the math on that, that would mean that each team has to have a $200 million payroll because it would be $6 billion if my math is correct. So, okay, you think the Pirates want to go for that? There's other issues here where you wouldn't have the money given to like the Pirates and the A's who aren't trying to win, embarrassing franchises like that, the Marlins. So they don't want that. It's a Cold War is what it is. And the owners want fans to be their infantry. And it sounds to me like many of the dumb people are going along with this. Like you're falling. You're drinking the Kool-Aid, and the cry poor. They cry poor. The owners are the ones that are crying poor here. The actual people that are like not poor, but not making as much as these people. The owners are crying poverty, and they're collecting giant amount of revenue. The small market teams, the teams aren't trying, get checks from the Dodgers and the Mets and the teams that are actually trying. And it's the equivalent. I guess the analogy would be like if you're starving and you're at a restaurant and you're like, I'm going to vote and I'm going to give the steak back, the porterhouse steak. I'm going to give that back to the restaurant owner because even though I'm really hungry and I'm starving, I want them to have it. They don't need it. They have plenty of steak, but I want them to have it. But I'm starving. I just think they should have it. It's comical. Please stop advocating. All right? Stop advocating for the house to win. The house always wins. The house always wins.